On July 10, 2025, the world stood still as the gavel fell in a Manhattan federal courtroom, marking the end of an era. Justin Bieber, the Canadian prodigy, whose voice once defined a generation with songs of hope and heartbreak, was sentenced to life in prison without parole. The charge: masterminding a sinister network of coercion, manipulation, and abuse concealed behind the dazzling veneer of his global stardom. The catalyst for this earth-shattering verdict was a haunting 43-minute audio recording delivered posthumously by Sean Diddy Combs, who met a mysterious end just days prior. His final words, recorded in a high-security cell, expose Bieber as the architect of a dark empire, igniting a firestorm that rocked the music industry and left millions grappling with the betrayal of a fallen idol. The courtroom, bathed in cold fluorescent light, was a stark contrast to the chaos outside. Only a handful of U.S. Marshals, attorneys, and Judge Lydia Whitman witnessed the sentencing, their faces grim as the verdict was read. Bieber stood motionless, his once vibrant energy replaced by a hollow stare, as the judge declared, "The evidence is irrefutable. Your actions have left scars that cannot be undone." Outside, Manhattan streets erupted. Reporters jostled for soundbites, fans wept for their lost hero, and survivors demanded justice for the voices long silenced. Diddy's audio, recorded 6 days before his suspicious death, was a bombshell that detonated the myth of Bieber's innocence. "Justin's the one pulling the strings," Diddy confessed, his voice chillingly calm. "He's the face everyone trusts, hiding the ugliest truths." The revelation pointed to a covert platform, In Town Live, marketed as a fan app but allegedly a repository for compromising videos used to control young artists. When the FBI decrypted a file labeled leverage_47.mp4, a 19-minute video confirmed Diddy's claims, showing Bieber orchestrating a scene of chilling dominance. In a single afternoon, the pop star's legacy crumbled, and the world was forced to confront a painful question: was Bieber a victim-turned-predator or the mastermind of a machine that preyed on the vulnerable? If this story shocks you and you stand for justice, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel to follow this unprecedented case. Let's amplify the truth and ensure the silenced are heard. On June 12, 2025, at 8:17 p.m., Sean Diddy Combs was led from his solitary cell in Manhattan's Metropolitan Correctional Center to a fortified interrogation room. No lawyers, no restraints, just Diddy, a cryptic note, and a triple-encrypted recording system capturing his every word. The note, scrawled in pencil and visible only under UV light, read, "If I'm gone, follow the second key." FBI agent John Mendez later described the scene. He spoke like a man who knew his time was up, each word heavy with truth and dread. Diddy's 43-minute testimony was a chilling unraveling of a hidden world. "I won't see the next moon," he began, his eyes fixed on the thermal camera tracking his pulse. He described a web of illicit gatherings, parties in Miami, Los Angeles, London, and on private yachts in international waters from 2015 to 2022. These were no ordinary events but calculated traps where young artists were ensnared with promises of fame, plied with substances, and recorded without consent. At the 34-minute mark, Diddy dropped a name that stunned the room. Justin Bieber runs it all. He holds the second key. He decides who stays silent. According to Diddy, In Town Live, a seemingly innocent fan app, was a front for storing incriminating footage. The platform used dual-key encryption, one held by Diddy, the other by Bieber. "Every video is leverage," Diddy quoted Bieber as saying. "Silence is the price of survival." The FBI traced the platform's servers to an IP address linked to Bieber's Ontario estate, misrepresented as a wellness retreat. A test file, with Bieber's voice reciting the trigger phrase "play or pay," confirmed his involvement. 2 days later, Diddy was found dead in his cell, a note reading, "It's over," beside him, his wrist etched with Key 2. Though the coroner reported no trauma, whispers of foul play spread. Diddy's testimony was a calculated act of defiance, exposing not just Bieber, but a broader system of complicity. His decision to name Bieber without prompting suggests a mix of guilt and desperation, perhaps an attempt to shift blame or secure his legacy. The cryptic notes and sudden death raise questions about whether Diddy was silenced to protect others in the network. On June 14th, the FBI uncovered a 19-minute, 47-second video file, leveraged on a 47.mp4, buried on a Florida homicide case hard drive. Its metadata matched Diddy's testimony, showing a dimly lit room with a fixed camera capturing Bieber in a position of chilling authority. For women, visibly shaken, sat before him, one whispering, "I used to dream of singing his songs. Now I can't sleep without nightmares." A table held a black folder labeled confidential, a spray bottle, and a hidden camera, items Diddy had described as tools of coercion. Forensic analysis confirmed Bieber's voice at a 92.7% match, saying, "No need for second take." The FBI identified 2 women as former talent show contestants and a third from Bieber's 2022 Justice World Tour. The fourth, Clara R., was believed to have smuggled the video onto the drive while posing as an evidence room volunteer. Her anonymous ex-post, "I believe in his music, but only truth remains," sparked the hashtag #FindClara campaign. A partial photo of her face, bearing a scar from Paris tour footage, fueled a nationwide manhunt. The video, meanwhile, spread across dark web markets, fetching up to $75,000 despite FBI efforts to suppress it. The Leverage_47 video is a cornerstone of the case, its raw authenticity impossible to dismiss. Bieber's calm, commanding demeanor contradicts his public persona, suggesting a duality honed over years. Clara's role as a whistleblower adds a layer of heroism, her actions echoing the courage of survivors who risk everything to expose truth. On June 17th, a federal grand jury convened, an extraordinary move against a pop star at his zenith. Bieber, represented by attorneys led by Christopher H., faced charges of racketeering, trafficking, and coordinated abuse. His team's motion to dismiss, citing lack of intent, was swiftly denied. On June 18th, Bieber appeared in Manhattan, a ghost of his former self in a gray hoodie, silent as the indictment was read. The charges carried a potential life sentence, backed by 7 eyewitnesses, coerced contracts, and the damning video. Bieber's label, RBMG, faced allegations of complicity, with leaked 2021 emails revealing discussions about private events. Social media erupted with hashtag #JusticeForClara and hashtag #BieberSentenced, while hashtag #FreeJustin reflected fans' denial. Netflix pulled Bieber's docuseries, and a fragrance brand severed ties. A DOJ travel ban and asset freeze aimed to prevent flight. At a hearing, Bieber's claim, "I'm innocent," was met with juror skepticism as the video replayed. His mother, Patty Millett, posted, "If this is true, my heart is broken," fracturing his fan base. Clara Montro, a British singer, emerged as a key witness, recounting a 2020 Malibu party where she was coerced into signing an NDA under career threats. Her televised testimony sparked hashtag #BelieveClara, with advocacy groups demanding industry reform. Missteps by Bieber's team, including attempts to question her mental health, backfired, amplifying public outrage. The indictment marked a turning point, transforming Bieber from a cultural icon to a symbol of betrayal. The public's polarized response, loyal fans versus outraged survivors, reflects the difficulty of reconciling a beloved figure with heinous allegations. Clara's emergence as a voice for victims underscores the power of individual courage in dismantling systemic abuse. Are you stunned by these revelations? Drop a comment with your thoughts and support for survivors like Clara. Hit like and share to spread the story and demand accountability. On July 10th, the trial began in a heavily guarded Manhattan courtroom with barricades and K-9 units signaling its gravity. Bieber, pale and gaunt, arrived in an armored vehicle, his charisma extinguished. Judge Lydia Whitman opened with a sobering statement. This case tests our ability to see truth through the lens of fame. Prosecutor Declan Meyer pointed at Bieber. He is not the only guilty party, but he must face justice first. Day 2 brought Walter Mendez, Bieber's former attorney, who produced 2018 emails detailing victim payoffs. A 14-minute audio from a management meeting captured Bieber saying, "Keep the safe locked," referring to a master video file. A production team member revealed a $50,000 payment to format a secure hard drive partition, no questions asked. The defense's attempt to recall Alvarez hinted at a faltering strategy as public trust in Bieber eroded. The trial's evidence, documents, testimonies, and recordings painted a picture of calculated control. Bieber's own words, captured in meetings, betrayed his involvement, while Alvarez's testimony exposed the human cost of silence. The defense's scrambling reflects the overwhelming weight of the prosecution's case. As the trial's second day closed, the Manhattan courthouse stood as a symbol of justice reborn. Justin Bieber, once a global idol, was a broken man, his legacy shattered by Diddy's final words and the Leverage_47 video. Judge Whitman's verdict, "Truth has eclipsed fame," marked the end of a myth and the beginning of a movement. Victim impact statements cut through the silence. Clara Montro said, "His music was my dream, but he stole my voice." Jay Alvarez added, "I hid the truth for years, but it's free now." Bieber's faint apology, "I never meant to hurt anyone," was drowned by evidence. Hashtags like #JusticeForVictims and #EndTheSilence surge, with millions demanding change. The trial exposed a corrupt core in the music industry, executives who buried allegations, labels that ignored whispers, and media that glorified predators. A DOJ statement affirmed, "Justice will not be derailed." Survivors, emboldened by Clara and Jay, flooded hotlines, their voices echoing Bieber's fall. An X post with 900,000 likes declared, "Bieber's just the start. The industry's next." If convicted on all counts, Bieber faces life without parole, but the trial's impact reaches further. The FBI's expanded probe targets RBMG and beyond, hinting at more indictments. A vigil outside the courthouse grew, survivors holding signs, "We are heard." The industry faces pressure to reform, from labels to streaming platforms. As Clara posted, "Truth is our only belief now." The question lingers, who else holds a key? Diddy's death and Bieber's conviction are not the end, but the start of a reckoning. This trial, unlocked by the courage of survivors, has exposed a system built on silence. As justice unfolds, the world watches, asking not just who will fall next, but whether we're ready to dismantle the machine that enabled them. Moved by this story? Subscribe to our channel for real-time updates. Share this video to amplify survivors' voices. If you or someone you know needs help, contact victim support organizations. Together, let's build an industry where truth triumphs over silence. Who's next to speak? Are we ready to listen?